Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And this is a shampoo bottle that I have used all the shampoo in. And I would like to transform this into a dwelling. But I don't want to put a whole lot of effort into it, and I don't want to spend my whole day doing it. So I don't really have a great plan. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with hoping it's dry inside, because I didn't check that. And I'm going to cut a square-ish shape out of it. Now, by square-ish, I mean ish. Because I'm probably not going to be able to cut a perfect square out of it. Okay. Because I'm just not that guy. Oh, look, it's still wet in there. Let me get a t-shirt. We'll do the best we can with that wetness. I can't remember. I have a couple of these, and some I left open, and some I just kind of threw down the bottom of the steps, and they've been sitting there for a while. All right, that's mostly dry for now. I'm going to dry that piece off and save that in case I want to use it for something. It might be good for making shields and stuff out of. All right, so to get started, let's see if we can make a piece that kind of fits in there. Okay, I want this to be the bottom and this to be the top. So then I'm going to kind of manipulate that so it fits in there a little better. That's get a little glue on the back side there. And try to set that down as flat as I can. Then I'm going to get up under here with a little bit of glue and let that settle. Okay, now I'm going to do the top part. Okay. I want it to be roughly the same sticking out as the top, as the bottom was, but it's not going to be perfect. I'm going to stick that in there. It's going to be close. Same thing, get a little bit of glue and hold that in place. Now for my side pieces, I might need to grab more cardboard. More. Okay, let's get that in place. Something like that. I need another glue stick. All right, cool. For this side, I don't want to come as far out, so I'm just going to eyeball this. Okay, out. Okay, something like that. Get a little bit, get that in place. Okay, and then I'm just going to get bead. Like that. Now I want my building to be kind of sturdy. I need to let this cool a little bit, but This piece sticks out a little bit further in the front. So I just want to kind of even that up a little bit. Oh, that's burning me. Okay, no problem. It happens. Okay. Get my kickstand back up. Now I want a ramp going down to another layer. So let me get some cardboard. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to get a marker. I'm going to draw a shape that's about the size of the bottom of that. Okay. And that should, in theory, fit in there like that. There we go. And then let's make a stand for this so it sticks up, stays flush on the ground. We're just going to eyeball that. Something like that. Okay. And we want this to be stable. Something like that. All right. Let me get a drink of my beverage here. And let's make our walkway going down. So to make the walkway, I'm just going to get a piece of this. Flat edge. Flat edge. I didn't measure that, but it's probably about an inch. Well, okay, it's really close to an inch. I'm going to leave that on. I'm going to bring that down. Then I'm just going to get this little piece that's kind of folded already. I'm going to get a dab of glue. I'm going to set it. I'm going to cut this off more. On here, like that. Then I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to glue this to the side, just like that. Okay. Now, so our walkway can facilitate miniatures not sliding down. What we're going to do is we're just going to cut some little pieces of flat. Like that. Okay, that's cooled already. Now this is just a poor person's structure where they would live. So we don't want to kit this out in any extraordinary way, but we do want to make it look futuristic and neat. This knife ain't cutting shit. Okay. I'm just going to burn myself a little bit and get that on there. Okay. I'm going to let that cool for a moment. Then I'm going to reinforce that. Okay. Now, you want the front to be safe, so let's make a little railing. And to do that, let's just cut some junk. So I have some skewer here that I've been using for different stuff. I'm going to cut a piece of it off and glue it to the top of the railing, or the top of the ramp, at a little bit of an angle. I'm going to drag that around in my glue to make sure that it has enough surface space to be sturdy. I'm going to let that sit for a moment. I'm going to get a little more glue in that crevice just to hold that. I'm going to let that cool down. Then let's look at this back wall part here. So I think the easiest thing to do would be cut some strips of this stuff. And just to get that on there like that. And on the back side here. And we can just snip off excess like that. And we'll check this front piece here. That's long enough. We'll straighten that out, throw that on there, just like that. Okay. Now, we can dress this up and put a lot of effort into making it look really nice, or we can just half-ass it and call it a win. We have to make that decision pretty early on in this build. But what I do know is that we want to try to make this look a little bit interesting. Like this. I'm going to snip off that excess over here. I'm going to hold that down for a moment and make sure that's cool and in place. All right, we're starting to make a nice little pod house here. Now let's lay this down. I need something to prop up the back. And let's get this railing on. And I'm going to hold that in place, snip off my excess. I'm going to dress this up with this stick 2. Just like that. Snip that off. Let's hope that fits in there. No, it does not. Still does not. That was probably too small. Oh well. Okay, something like that. It's a little unstable on the front there. So in order to stabilize this up, I'm just going to take a couple quick steps. Okay. I lost that piece of wood I just cut off. Oh well, we don't really need it. We'll get a piece of cardstock here. I'm going to flip this up. I'm going to run glue across this whole side like this. And just take a piece of cardboard stripping from God knows what and shove that into place. And let's see if we can't sturdy this front up. Make sure this is the right height. It should be close. And if it's not perfect, oh, well it was. That was just dumb luck. That was not skill. All right, let's get some granny grating and add some decoration. I'm going to throw this up on here and give it some texture. Just like that. We're going to come over to the side over here. Okay. Now, I'm just going to dress up some little spots that need dressed up. I'm going to grab some little bits of plastic and junk. Like this is left over for some project I had. I'm just going to get that. I'm going to throw some glue on it. I'm going to make it come out here to cover up that little recycling symbol. Because we're already recycling it. We don't need a symbol there to tell us to do it if we're already in the process. Right? Right. Amen. Preach it, sister. Then I'm going to get some decking pieces to make some interesting panels. Whoa. Okay. And we'll put one inside the little room in here. Okay. Something like that would look okay. Let's get my blowtorch. Try to deal with some spider webs because we do have some. And it really isn't that big of a deal, but we don't want too many spider webs. All right. What else can we do here? Well, let's get a coffee stirrer since I have those laying out. Let's get this back in this corner and smear it around some like that. And what could we put something on top to make it a little more interesting? Maybe a disc or something. What do I got? Well, let's see. I have a lot of those. I have that. Okay. Now, I don't think we're going to need much in the way of super glue on this, except for on this piece here when that cools. Okay, so let's get our super glue. Do I have an open one? Grab a new one. If I do have an open one, I didn't close it and it dried. All right, so we want this to have a handle so it's easy to work on. So we're just going to get an old piece of paint lid and glue it up underneath here. And we'll set that there for a moment and let it cool. Now I'm going to spray paint this, and we're going to come back and do a part 2 because I feel like this is probably too much to do on a long form paint job. But thanks for watching. Taking our look at it real quick. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. Got a lot of playable area. Only midgets can go down there. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon. Leave a comment. There's other stuff I'm missing. Do the stuff. If you don't know the stuff by now, you're not going to know the stuff, right? Right. Anyways, check out the Discord and the website. Those are both linked down in the description. There's also a discount code down there for some sick Dungeon Swag minis from the website. So feel free to check it out. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.